Okay, it's 4 o'clock, so I'm going to go ahead and start. And hopefully you guys can hear me. If you guys have Facebook, see if it's on your Facebook or YouTube. I think it is. So, yay, thank you. Appreciate that. My name is Gilroy Madrid, and I'm going to go ahead and start. This meeting that we're having is an ESSER III update that we're required to have every 6 months. So we do have some people here today with us in the audience, and then we have some people out in the virtual world, whether on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitter. And so I am going to type hello and good afternoon. I think I misspelled afternoon. There's a new keyboard here. It's a backlit keyboard. Okay. There we go. We have some people on. And so I'm going to go ahead and start. Those of you who are here, just sign in as you are needed. And everybody else, if you have any comments, you can talk. I see Mrs. Jimenez says it is very clear. Thank you, Mrs. Jimenez, for letting us know. Nita Schellenberger, thank you for being there as well. There's some fans that we always have out there who are willing to share with us whenever things are working properly. So we do appreciate that. So I'm going to go ahead and go to the slide. Again, this is a ESSER III meeting. It's a stakeholder meeting that our second one. Our first one was about 6 months ago. We have to have them every 6 months for I think the next 3 or 4 years. So this will be the second meeting that we have. You can sign in virtually. Just type your name in there. If there's any blue cards in the room, you can sign them. There's a presentation. There's a survey. And, of course, thank you at the very end. Okay. Again, we meet every 6 months for 3 years, provide the district with feedback. Members receive updates. Our office is 432-336-4000, extension 12. And Ember is probably the person who will answer the phone first before I do. So thank you, Ember, for being patient with us as we do this. Again, our role is to receive these grants. We must elicit participation from individuals like yourself, gather public input, and there is a survey right there that you are able to click on as well. It's the same survey that is on the website, and I'll show you here in a little bit where that's at. The Elementary and Secondary School Emergency Relief Fund was the ESSER money that was given to schools. There was 3 different types, ESSER 1, 2, and 3. The mainly one we're going to talk about today is ESSER 3 to address learning recovery and especially the academic needs of our students and the social and emotional needs as well. So ESSER 3 is, again, part of the American Rescue Plan ARP Act, enacted in February 2021. There's the ESSER 1 and the ESSER 2, which we're not going to discuss. But if you really want to find out more, you can always Google it and get more information if you're really bored at night. Again, this is the ESSER 3 funds that we're discussing here within the district. And so the date was passed there. The total nationwide was $122 billion. Our district received $4.9 million, and I'll go over more exactly how that money is being spent. Some of the things that we have to address is the learning recovery of our students. The learning, and at least 20% of that must be allocated for learning recovery. Of course, we have to have high quality teaching and learning across our district, and then have targeted support and resources for our students as well. And then the other thing that we need to consider is the health and safety of our students and staff to reduce the risk of virus transmission and the overall improving the environmental health of our schools, and then retain high need, high impact individuals for our school district as well. Again, the goal is here in Fort Stockton ISD is to address the learning recovery among all students, have high quality assessments and academic programs, and the best practices and academic activities for our students. And again, the overall goal is to improve the academics of our students because the past 2 years prior to this year, we've had some struggling situations with our kids dealing with COVID-19 and what have you. So some of the money that we've spent already from the last meeting that we had are the campus curriculum directors, instructional leaders who provide academic support for our teachers and staff. And so the whole idea is to improve student learning. And the way you improve student learning is you improve on teachers. It's just like the whole situation. You have to be better to be able to help other people. So that whole idea is we have campus curriculum directors who are on our campuses, improving teacher instruction, which also helps students whenever they're in the classrooms learning from them as well. Again, we also have high academic needs stipends, improve student academic performance, and we reward and retain, recruit the best of the best for our students and teachers, or our schools, so that we can improve on learning for our students. We also have the retention stipends, the COVID-19 reimbursement. Many schools are doing that. We did that as well for the dedicated staff of our district, doing a wonderful job past 3 years, trying to do their very best to make up for lost time and learning. And so we've used that money to give a retention stipend for our employees as well. And then there's some other things that, well, right here just is rewards for outstanding work for every employee. And again, just to retain our current employees that we have in the district. We replaced the HVAC, heating and cooling system in Apache School. And thank you for being patient. Just like anything else, when you have new equipment in an old building, sometimes things don't always go as planned. And so we've had some issues in that building. We've worked with our contractors to make sure that it's up and going, and we're still doing that. So the whole idea was to improve ventilation and reduce any potential spread and lower risk of exposure within our district. The other thing that we did was we also purchased some air purifiers that we put in all the classrooms, and we just purchased some more to put in some other rooms where we have different things going on, whether it's a room where there's students receiving speech therapy and what have you. So that is in the works as well. And then we have addressing the social and emotional needs of our students. We had Rachel's Challenge come this semester. Thank you for getting that. I think Mr. Klein worked on that for our district. And so the whole idea is to be kind and address bullying and minimize school violence and just providing hope and resilience for our students and our staff. Sometimes we just don't know what it takes for kids just to come to school and or even staff members. And so the whole idea is just be kind to everybody and be thankful that they're there at school. There are 2 plans required for the ESSER III funding. The intent and purpose of the funding is to safely reopen and sustain the safe operations of school due to the impact of the pandemic on students. And the first plan is the Safe Return to In-Person Instruction Continuity of Services Plan, which I'll show you where that's at. And then the other plan is just basically how we spend that money. Right here, this is the current money that we have and where we spent. If you notice right here, the COVID-19 reimbursement resolution tutorial summer school campus. Summer school, we haven't gotten there yet, but we are going to use that money for summer school. The campus curriculum directors, there's the amount that's budgeted for, the amount we've spent, and then our balance. And then we have Rachel's Challenge, the air filters that we have in our schools, and then, of course, the capital outlay improvements through the HVAC repair at Apache School. All of this will be posted on our website, and I'll show you exactly where it's at here in a little bit. And this information was from given to me today from Miss Maria Gomez. So it's hot off the press. And so this is the website where it's at. It's right here. If you go to our school district website, that information will be right there. And so that is where that information is at. And that is all the information I have. I'm going to go back to that screen. We've been online for about 10 minutes. If you have any questions or comments, you can put them on the chat, whether it's in YouTube or Facebook, or anybody in the room if they have any questions. That was nice, short, and quick and easy, and I don't want to waste anybody's time because I know Mr. Alvarado had very busy today with truancy court. Does anybody have any questions? Everything's cut and dry for the most part. This one sheet of paper will be uploaded today on our website. I'll get it to Mrs. Subia so she can get it up there, because that's the most up-to-date information that we have, is the use of funds for the ESSER III money. So thank you, Ms. Schellenberger, for always being on. She's a good fan. Any other questions? That was pretty quick, 10 minutes. Mrs. Horton, you okay? We have Mrs. Horton in the room, and Mrs. Urias, Mrs. Ogas, Mrs. Dr. Hanson, Ms. Navarrete, Mr. Alvarado, Ms. Ezel, Ms. Bayanes, thank you for being here today. Appreciate it. And Dr. Zamora. Well, and Rosemary Sanchez is here. You're welcome, Mrs. Vargas. And Ms. Sanchez, thank you very much. With that being said, if you have any questions, you can please call. Call if you have any questions. I'm going to put in our number. Of course, we're not there right now, but the other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put the link in the chat. So if you guys don't mind filling out the link to the survey, that would be great. So please fill out that survey. With that being said, I am good. There's no more questions. You guys have a great and wonderful day, and thank you for being with us today.